Welcome to Living English at the Houston Public Library, a 25-lesson language learning program that focuses on how you work, play, and interact with others in your everyday life. Hello, my name is Ryan Bowden from the Houston Public Library. Welcome to Living English at HPL. Today, we're going to be talking about something that I want to do very badly: travel. So, whether you're just trying to make it through your trip, you're out sightseeing, or just relaxing on a beach, travel is a lot of fun. So without further ado, let's jump into some vocabulary. Here we go. So in a previous video, we discussed cars and transportation. So we talked about trains and planes and cars and boats, maybe not cruise ships exactly. So if you are traveling by train, you're going to go to the train station. You can see those trains all in the train station. If you're traveling by airplane or plane, you're going to go to the airport. We have two of those here in Houston. If you're traveling by cruise ship, you're going to go to the cruise ship terminal. Now the terminal is a dock or a port where passengers are able to board a cruise ship, the cruise ship terminal. And then finally, probably the easiest one on here is a road trip. So if you are traveling by car and you're going on vacation by car, we would usually say that you are taking a road trip. So we can see these folks right here on the open road. So why are we traveling? Well, you might travel for leisure. That seems pretty good up there. That gentleman in the hammock over the water seems very relaxing. So leisure is just another way of saying traveling for relaxation. You might travel to see the sights. So it may be monuments, like here, there's a tower that people are taking a look at. It might be museums or bridges or pyramids. So seeing the sights or sightseeing. You might travel because you like excursions. These people are riding camels, but maybe horseback riding or mountain biking, something fun like that, something active. We would call those excursions. And then lastly, you're probably going to need an itinerary, which is going to tell you when you're going. So if you're traveling by plane, you want to know when your flight departs and when it arrives at your destination. This is very important. So what are you going to need? Well, if you're traveling internationally, you will definitely need a passport, right? That's going to let you cross international borders. There's a US passport right there in the corner. If you're planning on staying in a country for a long time, you might need a visa. A visa is usually just a stamp or a document that allows you to live or work or just stay briefly in a country. You might want to bring your camera. I know some of us use our phones for everything these days, but a camera is pretty important if you're serious about photography. And then finally, again, phones can do a lot of this for you. You can look up the sights to see in a city. You can look up a map of the city, but it's always good to have a guidebook or a map with you in case your phone's not working. So what are you going to do when you get there? Well, you might go shopping. I typically will go shopping for souvenirs, which are gifts or trinkets to bring home. So if you look over there, I believe that's a Lebanese flag. There's a number of wood objects that you could buy and bring home with you. Or you might want to go and do some swimming at the beach. That looks gorgeous. I would love to go there. Maybe you like to climb things. I know I enjoy hiking or climbing in the mountains. So you climb hills or mountains. That seems like a fun, adventurous vacation right there. But remember, you have to pack your bags and remember how much stuff you need or don't need. You don't want this to happen to you. So be careful when you're packing your suitcase or your bags. All right. So we've gone through a lot of vocabulary and that was pretty quick. So we're going to practice by trying to match the vocab on the left with the corresponding vocab terms that we discussed. So for train, where would you get the train? For the plane or the airplane, where would you board an airplane? For a car, what do we call that when you travel by car in the United States? Nice idiom right there. Cruise ship, where do you board your cruise ship? What would you climb and what would you pack? Take a second and try to answer those. All right, here we go. A train, train station. Hope you got that one. That's pretty straightforward. The plane is going to be at the airport. The car, you're going to go on a road trip. Cruise ship is going to be the cruise ship terminal. If you just put terminal, that's fine. Climb, well, you're going to climb a hill or a mountain, usually. And then pack, we got suitcase down there. I hope you got all those. If you didn't, go back and try again and listen to the vocabulary again. We should practice that. So what about grammar? Today we are going to talk about adverbs. Adverbs, very exciting. These describe verbs, adjectives, or other adverbs, right? They can tell us how, where, when, or how often, which is with what frequency something happens. So a few examples down here. Adverbs are very easy to understand. How easy are they? They're very easy to understand. I work carefully on my English grammar. So yes, you're working on your English grammar, but how are you doing it? You're doing it carefully so you don't make any mistakes. And then finally, how often do you travel by car? Well, normally I travel by car. So I do that most often, right? So normally I travel by car. Awesome. So we're going to practice this in just a moment here. But again, adverbs help us answer how, where, when, how much, or how often. Those are the questions. And you might notice that a lot of adverbs tend to end in ly. So for how, easily or quickly might be the answer. For how much, it might be completely or barely, right? So a lot of times it does end in ly. So we're going to practice with some ly adverbs right here. So I gave you a term, and I'd like you to turn that into an adverb in that sentence. So he climbed to the top of the mountain. He did it in a quick way. What would that be? That would be quickly. He quickly climbed to the top of the mountain. Now, pangolins are blank seen in the wild. They are rare. Pangolins are rare. If you don't know what a pangolin is, it's this guy down here. I didn't actually know what one was either. Had to look that up. So pangolins are blank seen in the wild. That's going to be rarely seen in the wild. You do not often see those. And the third one down there, I was blank satisfied by my meal. So complete is the word that we're looking for. What do we think? That's going to be completely. I was completely satisfied by my meal. It was delicious, right? Okay, well, I hope you got that. Let's try this on our own now. Let's imagine we are writing a postcard. Just took a vacation to Texas. So our vacation to Texas, we have this paragraph right here, and there are some adverbs over on the left-hand side, and I'm going to have you fill in the blank. So let's read through it first. Dear Sue, blank, I took a trip to Texas, and it was blank, the best vacation I have had in a while. I know that I would blank have taken a trip to an international destination, but driving to Texas was blank, easy. And I saw so much of the country. Blank, my trip has now come to an end, but blank, I have my memories and I'll be sure to share them as soon as I return. Love, John. So fill in the blanks with the adverbs on the left. I'll give you a moment. All right, let's see how we did. Dear Sue, recently I took a trip to Texas, and it was easily the best vacation I've had in a while. I know that I would normally have taken a trip to an international destination, but driving to Texas was very easy, and I saw so much of the country. Unfortunately, my trip has now come to an end, but luckily I have my memories, and I'll be sure to share them as soon as I return. Love, John. Well, that's great. Hope I get a postcard from somebody soon. So I hope you guys got those and you understand adverbs. If not, go back, take another look. Adverbs are incredibly useful. See what I did there? When we're trying to explain something. That's all for now. Have a great day, and I'll see you again soon.